in your head.
Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. Wow, that shit's already scary. I'm done. I'm done with this. That shit was...
Okay.
All right, well, all right, bye, guys. With October coming right here, or October's officially tomorrow, right, Christian? Now all the horror stuff is coming out, and it's an exciting time to be alive because there's so much scary stuff, and I can't wait for us to deep dive into this because here's a news flash for everyone. I'm a wuss when it comes to horror movies. Now, before I start this, Christian, I don't know what the hell this thing's about. So do you want to explain to me what Channel Zero is for the toasties who don't know?
I have this whole thing where I like doing this show and I like talking about all the shows that you guys want to hear about, but mostly I want to talk about the shit that I like. And so this is a show that came out a couple of years back that is flying so under the fucking radar that none of you people know about it. But for me, it's the most effective horror television show on TV. So people are watching American Horror Story. Miles, you saw that premiere. How fucking bullshit has that become? Looks terrible,
man.
Right?
That shit is whack.
So when I tell you that this is everything that show wanted to be, but fails miserably at, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I love it, man. There's been 4 seasons of it. The 4th season is coming out now in about a week. But the cool premise of it is that these are adaptations of the creepy stories that have been passing around the internet for years, right? So the first season was this, it was so fucking weird because I remember watching it in real time and being like, wait, is that this fucking story I heard?
Yeah.
So it's based off a creepypasta called Candle Cove, right? Where it was like all these kids in this town had the same imagination. They fucking, like, all mass hallucinated, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was this really fucking scary thing that everyone saw the same thing, but it didn't exist. The parents would come in on their kids and they would see like them looking at static and shit like that, you know? Mm-hmm. So each season is an adaptation of like a creepy pasta, like a story that's been on the internet that started there and then got adapted. And it got adapted by this guy named Nick Antosca, who worked on Hannibal. Hannibal's fucking brilliant. I don't know if anyone in the chat wants to corroborate that, but you can tell it's the people who did Hannibal because it is like harrowing as fuck and really hard to watch and really scary.
Gets in your head.
Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. Wow, that shit's already scary. I'm done. I'm done with this. That shit was...
No, we got a barrel. This is season 2, son.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, let's continue this.
I love you, Mark. And I'm here for you. Okay.
All right, well, all right, bye, guys. Fuck that. Okay, let's go ahead and play the new trailer for the new season coming up right now.
I don't get it. I don't remember any door here.
Oh my fucking God. What the fuck, dude? That's so scary.
I fucking won. And I'm
What
so
the
happy
fuck?
about it. I'm so happy.
Dude, that is freaky as fuck, dude. I will say season 2 did scare me a little bit more, but because I get more of a Silent Hill vibe with this trailer, which the thing, I'll say this, a lot of people, it's so easy to make fun of Silent Hill, the video game series, if people don't know what I'm talking about. They've always done a great job doing this like a psychology with it, where it's like, yeah, it's creepy, but it's always kind of like someone facing their inner demons and all that. And I kind of got that vibe with this trailer for Channel Zero for the latest season. But then, of course, they had to be like, nope, let's just crank it up to 11 and scare Miles just a little bit. But chat, I want to know what you guys are thinking right now. Yeah, dude. Yeah, pretty creepy, Dolovo and Jet Jackson. Yeah, that stuff is scary. It's really scary. I can't wait to do these reactions now because all of you are going to make fun of me. But man, talk about frightening. That and the imagery did such an amazing job with that monster or whatever the hell it was doing, locking and dropping, you know, in ways Cara Delevingne or whatever her name was in Suicide Squad couldn't do. So this thing got me actually more frightened. But Christian, how do you
what's
feel
really
about
interesting
it?
about it? It's just like, listen, there's nothing scarier than something that looks human but isn't acting quite human. Like
Yeah.
it was just, it's not normal, and that really freaks me the fuck out. But quickly, just to inform, because we have to inform people. So that image you're showing right there is from season 3. Each season is its own self-contained story, and there are only 6 episodes. So it's the most easily fucking digestible thing.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like I said, season one. Go ahead.
No, so hold on, because now I'm asking like a fan. So every episode is 6 episodes, and it's like an anthology series then?
Yep. Season 1 was called, I think, Candle Cove. The second one was No End House. The third one, Butcher's Bay or something. And then this one is called, what was that? The Dream Door. So yeah, it's 6 episodes, self-contained story. You can fucking watch them and get them done super quickly. I love all of them. Like, I think they're all really, really effective, but season 2 and season 3 are definitely the most horror, like straight up horrific shit that they do. Mm-hmm. Season 1, that's from season 1 there. And that one's really good because it's kind of playing on like your childhood fears and all these monsters that you thought were imaginary, but they're real, which is kind of like what we saw in season 4 trailer, right? Yeah. It's about this fucking imaginary friend who comes to life and is like a murderous fucking person. So I love it.
I'm telling you right now, I'll probably watch half of that season with the lights on at 3 in the afternoon with the music blasting. Oh shit.
It's Butcher's Block. Escape from Butcher's Bay is that fucking Chronicles and Riddick game, dude. I'm surprised you didn't correct me, man.
Next up, we're going to be talking about Netflix Maniac, starring Emma Stone and Jonah Hill. If you guys want to leave for just 2 minutes or just stay and enjoy the conversation, if you guys don't know what we're going to be talking about, we will be talking minor spoilers, but we're going to just kind of give our overall thoughts on the show ultimately. So, Christian, I don't know if you want to go first, but I quickly just want to say, man, Jonah Hill is one of those actors that's known immediately for Superbad, right? And you think when you watch him, you know, he's just hilarious. He's just a hilarious actor, like kind of like Jim Carrey. And God, who's the other person?
I think Will Ferrell, if that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Thank you. And when you just see him do these serious roles, you're like, wow, man. Not only did you exceed my expectations, you kind of almost blew my mind with one, where the story goes, but just the performances from Jonah Hill and Emma Stone too. Emma Stone deserves a lot of praise in this, because to see these two people, and for people who don't know what Maniac is all about, it's these people who are in certain points in their lives and they somehow connect and meet through this pharmaceutical trial to make this drug, or, you know, they go through these trials of taking this pill that's supposed to magically cure any trauma that they might have. But of course, that's where the TV show kind of takes place and dives deep into what the world is all about. So, Christian, I'll let you go ahead and take it from there. What were your initial thoughts? Or now that you're done watching Maniac, what do you think of it ultimately?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it's brimming with imagination and ideas. I don't think every single one of those ideas necessarily executes. But I think, generally speaking, it's really well directed. It's like anchored by these fantastic performances and shit. And I think it's really difficult whenever you're doing like multiple timelines. Like you just saw like a fantasy thing. You saw him with a mullet. You're going to see him with the fucking grill in, right? Yeah. He has to play 4 different characters on this show, and he plays them differently, each one. Emma Stone is fucking brilliant in this show. But I will say that I feel like they gave her more to do in the first half of the season, and then the back half of the season belonged to Jonah emotionally. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Dude, ultimately, I really like it. If I had to put a number on it, I would say it's like an 8. I fault some parts of it because it doesn't all coalesce, but it is like so fucking dense with ideas and imagination. And like, aren't we supposed to be applauding any, like, you know, Westworld? Westworld has its fucking faults, dude. But how many other shows are swinging for the fucking fences like that? And it's not many. So I think you got to appreciate what you get out of it.
For sure. And you know what? There was something I also wanted to note too, is that if there is a season 2, they said that Fukunaga won't come back for it, which I think is fine, because I don't know, when you watch something like this, did you scream what happened with Emma Stone and Jonah Hill in season 2? Because I don't. I feel like this story neatly wraps its bow. Again, there's some open-ended questions out there, but I'm okay that they didn't answer everything on there. And I also wanted to highlight too, going back to what you said, the imagination in this is brilliant, you know, and the color schemes that they do. I feel like every episode tells a different story, but overall, for the narrative of the grand story, they always still bring it back right? And I thought that was really good, because how many times have you seen stuff where they show you a side story or they want to emphasize on one specific character and then they'll end the episode and you're like, well, okay, I guess that was that one, it was the episode catering to this specific character, but didn't add anything to the overall plot. I thought that's what I wanted to just highlight and congratulate this show on, is that they'll give you a specific episode with mainly Emma Stone or mainly Jonah Hill, and then they still tie it back to this Dante's Inferno of Inception-like levels that both of them have to go to, right? Where a lot of it is funny at first, but then each level or each episode, when they dive deeper into these character worlds, takes it down to something deeper and more psychological with these characters. And that's what I like so much about this show, is that, Jonah Hill is schizophrenic. And how does a schizophrenic person deal with the pressure that his family wants him to cover up ultimately in this story, right?
It was one of those things where, like, I'm proud of it from a story perspective, where it's like, look, you didn't find out what the fuck was going on until the last episode. Like, it was alluded that there was this thing that Jonah Hill has to fucking cover up, right? But for the most part, it was a mystery to you until you get to it. So when you see it in the fucking courtroom, it's just weird, right? Like, it feels a little out of place. Ultimately, like, I really like the show. I think the performances are great. I think Carrie was really good. I don't think it demands a second season. And I think that we have to be okay with the limited series, right? Look, someone came in, they had a story they wanted to tell. They told it, let's get the fuck out, man. Let's go get tacos. Like, we don't need to fucking continue stories for the sake of making money always. You know what I mean?
But see, this is also the world that we live in, where when something is successful, no matter how big or small it's promoted, and ultimately it becomes a smash hit, which I hope Maniac, caters to more eyes and ears, because I think the show, warrants that. But ironically enough, and this is like a double-edged sword of a compliment I'm about to give it, this is one of those shows you have to pay attention, because even when I was paying attention to it, there's still things I'm looking at where I'm like, okay, I think I understood what happened, but I'm going to have to watch it a second time. And even then, and that's me paying attention to it. So if someone's like, oh yeah, I'll watch it and it's a background thing, you can quickly get lost and you'll be like, wait a minute, why is Jonah Hill a gangster? Or how did Emma Stone eliminate and kill 30 spies,
assassins, or whatever.
30 assassins in one shot of a scene, which that was pretty awesome.
Well, what I really dig about it is that's the over embellishment of emotions, right? So all of this is this is one of those ham-fisted moments, but still, if it's inartistic, so be it, because it's really pretty still, right? Which is just like, oh, it seems like it's your inner demons. I've got some too. That line where they're shooting all the people, and I'm like, well, we could have done without that. But it's still this beautiful thing, because it's about how you process loss, man. And I think anyone who's lost anyone, like someone that they really, really love, and there's that line where she's talking to Gertie, the computer. We're skipping over so much of this. Just go watch it. It's fucking crazy. There's a sentient fucking computer in this show.
Who's depressed.
Yeah, dude. She's progressed to the point where she has these like really intense human emotions. And that's one of the things. She lost someone that she loved, and the computer doesn't understand. It's something that can't be programmed. It's something that's inherently human. And so there's that scene where she's like, when am I going to stop feeling like this? And she's like, you'll never stop feeling like this. You'll just learn to adjust. And I thought that was so fucking beautiful, dude. Like, it was the emotional climax of the entire series to me. Having said that, this show is fucking hilarious too. Justin Theroux plays like this crazy fucking, like, he's almost a villain if he was smart enough to actually be villainous, right? He's a scientist who's like, when we first meet him, by the way, it's my favorite scene of the early episodes. He's in some CGI like Oculus world, but he's like got Vegeta hair and he's fucking like a purple alien. It's fucking weird, but it's awesome. Dude. But the whole idea is like, that is like so British lo-fi kind of sci-fi feel. Like even the set design, the computers, what they're wearing, her Mia Wallace Pulp Fiction hair, like, dude, all of it was just great. I really liked it. I'd recommend it. Is it perfect? No, but it's perfect where it needs to. The character moments are resonating, and I think that's more important than getting every single technical fucking writing award, right? Yeah. Be true to the characters and make those moments work.
Yeah, and I think that's my final thoughts, and we'll hop on to the next story, is I think that's what makes the story so beautiful, is that, you see someone with Emma Stone dealing with grief and just learning how to deal or overcome that acceptance that her sister's dead, and she fucked up by not saying, you know, one of her last things towards her that like, I love you and this is why. And you find out later on, you know, in the show that like, yeah, she was cruel to her because she doesn't know how to say goodbye to her, you know, and it's really unfortunate that the last time they interacted was pretty, you know, downright sad and kind of scary. And, you know, seeing that character, you know, coincide with someone who's schizophrenic and dealing with the pressures that Jonah Hill had to deal with, and for them to kind of find this happy medium together, I thought was great, and that's why I love the ending of it. Chat, what are you guys talking about here? He's so brilliant in the show. Oh yeah, this is Dolmo again. He's so brilliant in the show, perfect embodiment of how tragedy can sometimes be comedy and vice versa. And the ruthless wonder.
Thoreau? Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because his whole performance is like, it's played so serious that it reverts back into comedy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it's one of my favorite performances of the year because it's batshit crazy. Like he had to go for it and he went for it.